Mr. President, Mr. Prime Minister, dear friends, it is a great pleasure and an honor for me to present tonight John Elkann with the Appeal of Conscience Foundation Award. New York's status as a capital of the world is epitomized by the fact that a French businessman stands here in front of this great city's elite to introduce an Italian captain of industry, while the United Nations General Assembly opens its 65th session just a short walk from here. And the presence of leaders of so many of the world's great religious denominations is a testament to this great evening. And to whom do we owe this special moment? To our dear friend, Rabbi Arthur Schneier, of course, whose tireless efforts to foster exchanges and understanding among people of different cultures and religions enrich us all. Arthur, it is your extraordinary vision, diplomacy, and stamina that enable you to take on even the most difficult challenges and to succeed. You set the bar very high for the rest of us, and then, with the same talent and energy, you make sure we meet your challenges, and we are all grateful to you. This does not mean, however, that every difference of opinion can be easily resolved. I haven't forgotten that right here, just a year ago, someone dared to make a comparison between champagne bubbles and those of well-known carbonated non-alcoholic beverage. In my country, this would be high treason. Nevertheless, in a gesture of goodwill and reconciliation, I set out on a pilgrimage to find the land where these ancient Coca-Cola wines grow. In returning this year, I must report, and especially to my esteemed colleague, Mr. Kent, with whom I had the honor of receiving your 2009 award, that while I made it to Atlanta, I could not get past the immovable people at the door who said something about a secret formula. I'll keep looking, but in the meantime, I recommend regular consumption of Cheval Blanc, NSC, Elkann, or Dom Pérignon. All in moderation, of course. But even if we will never resolve this issue, I know that France and the United States will remain the best of friends. And on that note, let me turn to our mutual friends in Ligoto, Fiat's head of office in Turin. It may seem odd to ask the chairman of a luxury goods company to speak about the chairman of an automaker. At first glance, a Vuitton bag or a Dior dress and the Fiat 500 have little in common. But in fact, our two companies, and indeed our two stories, have some similarities that go beyond the fact that our respective products have become icons due to the legacy of creativity and craftsmanship behind them. Let me begin with an important fact, John. You might be of Italian nationality and born here in New York, but I'm pleased to note that you are part French. For this, you should thank your father, the journalist and author Alain Elkann, who it is worth noting here tonight, has shown a deep interest in Judaism and how it relates to other religions, a theme of several of his books co-authored with leaders of other faiths. And your grandfather, Jean-Paul Elkann, whom, by the way, I knew pretty well, was also French and president of France's Jewish community until 1992. Finally, I know that you got your high school diploma from the Lycée Victor Duruy, coincidentally, around the corner from my home. Our country might have helped to give you roots, but at an early age, you began traveling far and wide. For Fiat, you have traversed Europe and the world in order to know firsthand the work that happens on the assembly line in Fiat's factories and its dealership and across its operations. And for sport, I understand that your exceptional selling skills have been put to use in trips to many exciting locals. You may be a citizen of the world, but you and the company you lead are also members of a family with a great tradition. Fiat is a creation of a dynasty, the Agnellis, of whom you are a worthy heir. All who knew him remember a gesture or an anecdote of your grandfather, Gianni Agnelli, the avvocato. His bearing, his voice, and his judgment were those of a master, a cultivated, captivating, and exceptional man who had the wisdom to choose you at the age of 20 with a French engineering degree to succeed him, just as he succeeded his own grandfather, Giovanni Agnelli, il Senatore. I understand this choice well, because I know what a blessing it is to work with one's family. My father, Joe Arnaud, made me a partner in his business when I too was a recent engineering graduate. And many years later, I asked him to join the board of the company I formed, LVMH. Today, I know the pleasure of continuing this tradition with my children, Delphine and Antoine, who are active in my group, and who are fortunate to have you as their friend. There is, I believe, an important benefit to being an enterprise that combines the long-term view of multi-generation family leadership with the discipline of public markets. Now, at the head of your family's business, the Fiat Group, which includes prestigious companies such as La Stampa newspaper and Turin's remarkable Juventus football club, you are making your own exceptional contribution to your family's traditions and to the future. And you have armed yourself with brilliant advisors, such as Luca di Montezemolo and Sergio Marchione. Like us at LVMH, at Fiat, you have a great passion for creativity and innovation, which you and your team keep alive. I have read that in the next 5 years, you intend to introduce 30 new models, and that in 2014, you expect to sell 6 million cars and achieve sales of 95 billion euros. That is very impressive indeed. You also made a large investment in Chrysler when it was having serious difficulties. This shows both your courage and a decision maker, and your ability as an entrepreneur, so rare at your young age, to see long-term beyond the horizon. When a company and the drive to make it successful are in your blood, it is not just your business you are protecting and growing. It is your heritage and your legacy. And you do it not just for your family, but for the people who work at every level of your organization and those who invest in it and cast their own fortune to your leadership. I don't doubt that the sparkle of drive and ambition in your eyes can also be seen in the eyes of Leone and Oceano, the two young sons you have with your lovely wife, Lavinia. Together, you honor your grandfather, his grandfather, and your whole family by continuing their traditions and devotion to Fiat. Rabbi Schneier and the Appeal of Conscience Foundation made a wise choice in nominating you for this award. They saw your kind heart, your strong mind, your solid ethics, and your bold character. And like us all, they see an accomplished young man with even greater achievement in the future, a great leader who will mark his era. Bravo, John, and congratulations on this well-deserved award.
Stay next to me. Hold it. And face the Henry, we'll come over to see you. No, we'll come over to see you. No. See you.